What is going on, everyone? Hope you're all doing well. Today we're going to be taking a look at a few more keyboard and mice that were provided out by BZFuture, the sponsor of this video, who are currently holding their holiday sale from December 5th until December 31st, where they've got lots of different PC gaming peripherals and items on sale for you guys. Keyboards, mice, headsets, gaming chairs, you name it, lots of different stuff. We've done a couple of partnerships with BZFuture this year already, showing you guys some keyboard and mice. So we're going to be doing that here today, and I'll also be showing you how you can save an additional 18% off of these already impressive holiday sales by using my code JP15 at checkout. So for this video, we'll be taking a look at the eUso K620 mechanical gaming keyboard with brown switches, which is a TKL keyboard, which you may or may not know is actually my favorite style of keyboard. We'll also be revisiting the Dureyu A950 mouse, which we took a look at around Black Friday, although this time we've got a pink variant, which is actually pretty cool, and I know a young lady who actually I think will like this as a Christmas present, daughter of my friend, so she's big into Hello Kitty, so I think she's actually going to like this mouse as a Christmas present. And also the MotoSpeed BK67, which we previously took a look at on the channel, which is a 67 key keyboard which can work in wireless or in wired modes. But first up, let's take a good look at the eUso K620, as it's not a keyboard that we have previously taken a look at on the channel. As I said up at the top of the video, it is a TKL keyboard, which is my favorite size of keyboard. In the box, along with the keyboard, the variant that they sent me has brown switches, and they also have a few different color varieties available. But this one is just white and gray, and I actually really like that look. It reminds me of the old IBM Model M keyboards. Along with the keyboard, we get a white USB-C cable for running it over a wired connection. This one does not support a wireless mode like the MotoSpeed keyboard, which we'll be revisiting in just a few moments. Also in the box, we do get a couple of keycap swaps that you can do for the spacebar. There's an orange spacebar if you want to go ahead and utilize that. And there's also an additional accent key for the escape key if you do want to utilize that. It also comes with a red keycap puller, as well as a puller for the mechanical switches, as you can swap these out if you want to. And it also did come with a couple of additional Cherry MX brown switches, I guess as replacements if you wanted to utilize those, but they're brown just like the same ones that came inside the keyboard, or you can get, you know, various different mechanical switches online and swap those into the keyboard if you wanted to. The keyboard itself is a fairly straightforward design with not a whole lot of bells and whistles. As I said, it is USB-C and it is LED backlit. It's just a single color for all the keycaps, which is white. It's sort of more of like a blue tone, white. It's sort of like a whitish blue color. There is also some RGB on the back side of the keyboard that comes out of what looks like vents, but it's actually some RGB lighting strips, and that just sort of gently silhouettes from underneath the keyboard, and it actually does have a very nice subtle effect on the desk. It's not like too glaring or anything, jetting out from the keyboard. It's fairly subtle, but it is a nice touch. On the back side of the keyboard, we do have 2 feet if you do want to raise it up to put it on a slight incline. There is only one step of adjustment here, so it doesn't have like 2 different like little feet. It's just the 2 feet there, not like 2 per, you know what I mean? Some keyboards have it like 2 little flaps that you can adjust if you want like a different level of height. So it's just either flat or it is at an incline, but the incline that it's at is honestly what I would typically prefer to use a keyboard at anyway. Another thing that I like about some of these more affordable keyboards is that you can go ahead and adjust the lighting on the fly using the keyboard itself and not having to download any additional software. So just by holding the function key, you can use the insert key to swap between different lighting patterns, and you can also use the arrow keys to adjust brightness or the speed of which these lighting patterns are moving throughout the keyboard. So that's nice to see, and you can disable the lighting entirely if you want to by just holding function and just tapping the down key until it completely turns off. And coming in at just under $50 without even using my coupon code at checkout, it's actually looking like a pretty solid budget option for someone that wants to get a mechanical keyboard for this holiday season while they are on sale. As I said, it's coming in at $46 right now, but you'll be able to get additional savings, which I'll show you in just a moment. And I also tried it out for some gaming, pairing it up with the Dureyu A950 gaming mouse, which can work in a wired mode. You can also run it in wireless in 2 different ways, either over Bluetooth, which is slower, it has more latency, or over the 2.4 gigahertz mode, which you'll commonly see in some other name brand mice out there from Logitech, Corsair, Razer, so on and so forth. So extremely low latency, even over a wireless connection. And as I said, I already took a look at the blue version of this, so it was fairly familiar to me. already getting it out of the box, the main difference here was the aesthetics, as it is a very pink mouse with some different shades of pinks and some blues and things sort of scattered in there. As I said, it has a very Hello Kitty type vibe. So if that's your jam, fellas or ladies, whatever you happen to be into, it's certainly going to fit a niche aesthetic for a lot of gamers out there. And it does also have RGB lighting on the mouse, as well as the docking station, which you can use to charge it. And it also serves as a USB extender, so you can plug this into the back of your PC and then have it on your desk with the little USB dongle, so that it has the shortest travel distance possible between the dongle/receiver as well as the mouse itself. And you could charge it right on that docking station, or you can use the included cable, which is a USB-C cable. You can use that if you want to just run it over a wired mode all the time. You can certainly do that as well, or utilize that for charging. And I will say that the cable is actually very nice. It has a very soft cloth that they're using on the outside of it, very flexible, and honestly very nice to use. So if you needed to use this mouse wired, or if that's just your personal preference, I don't think you're going to have any issues doing that, as the cable is actually exceptionally nice for this Dorayu A950 mouse. But it can't be much of a gaming mouse without gaming, so I hopped in on some Rainbow Six Siege and started banging headshots with Ash on the house map, and I'm happy to report that going from, another wireless mouse like a Logitech G305 to the Dorayu A950, other than the shape and the style of the mouse, which always going to come down to personal preference for aesthetics and how it feels in the hand, I had no issues whatsoever aiming the game. The latency felt very similar to my Logitech G305, and I had really no complaints whatsoever about gaming on the EUSO keyboard along with the Dorayu A950 mouse. The only thing I would say is maybe I would change is to get a matching keyboard to go with the mouse. If I could get a pink Dorayu keyboard to go with the mouse, I think that would be a pretty sweet and modern, manly setup. Oh, yes. And it comes in at just under $60, so certainly very competitive with some of the other name brand mice out there on the market. And just a brief mention of the MotoSpeed BK67. As I said at the top of the video, this is a 67 key keyboard, just like the Dorayu A950. This can work in wired or either under 2.4 gigahertz wireless or on Bluetooth wireless. And as it is a smaller format keyboard, I could see this being a good travel keyboard if maybe you go around from different workstation to workstation and you are the type of person that wants to bring your own keyboard along with you. This is fairly lightweight in size, so you can actually keep this in your bag or use it for travel if you need to. So yeah, it's definitely good for that. I actually have a full video doing a review of the MotoSpeed BK67, which I will leave linked in a card up above if you want to check out a full in-depth review. But the short and skinny of it is that I had no issues whatsoever with the keyboard, just as good as the EUSO keyboard that we are taking a look at here today. It just happens to be a 67 key keyboard, which, as I mentioned, TKLs are my favorite. So the only thing that really detracted me from sticking with the BK67 was the fact that it was a 67 key and not a TKL, which just personal preference, honestly. So leave it up to you guys when it comes to that. And it comes in right now at just under $63. So as I said, right now they have this big holiday sale going on, but you can certainly save yourself some additional money using my code JP15 at checkout, and I'll walk you guys through that process right now. So if you wanted to grab the EUSO keyboard, which is $46.12, we can just go ahead and hit buy now, and that'll add it in to our shopping cart, and we can go in through the checkout process with the shipping fee. It comes up to $51.36, but go ahead and whack my code JP15, which will, as the name does not suggest, will actually save you 18% off during the month of December for this special promotion that I'm doing with BZFuture. And that'll knock off $8.30 from the price, bringing it down to $43.06. And obviously, if you throw in a couple more items like the Dorayu A950, your savings is just going to go up from there. So be sure to use the links down in the description below over to BZFuture.com, where you can check out all the keyboards and mice that they have on offer. And be sure again to use that code JP15 at checkout. You'll get an additional 18% off of whatever savings they already have applied on the website. So I hope you guys pick yourselves up a good, affordable mouse or keyboard or headset or whatever this holiday season. Let me know what you think down below in the comments, and I'll catch you next time for another video. Peace.